So here it is, the MBRP system we're going to be putting on the Focus today. Don't mind my neighbor blowing leaves. I hope she gets finished here pretty quick. Anyways, let's open this sucker up and see what's in it. So here's what we have straight out of the box. Pretty nice looking stuff. I went with the aluminized kit since I live here in Texas. Don't have much to worry about as far as road salt. But I'll get the rest of this thing open and see what's in here. So this is how I understand it goes in the car itself. So I kind of lay this thing out as a road map of how we're going to get this thing in there. Two tips, the back, over the axle, I guess the resonator, muffler delete, whatever it is, all the way up here to the downpipe. You can see where it changes from what 2.5 to 3 inch from the stock system. There's all the coupling and instructions that came with it. So that's the first part, making sure we got everything before we start. So that's it's gonna look good. Now, not to say I'm not a fan of that, but I do. I actually was kind of a fan of how that looks, just because it's so different from what's on in the market. I like the unique aspect of it, but looking at what those 3-inch, 4-inch, whatever they are, tips are going to look like when they're mounted under there, it's going to have a little different look and look a little better. So I'll dive in and show you how this thing works. One of the first steps in getting this thing started is to lube up any of the hangers, the exhaust hangers that are down there. There's one on this side of the axle, and then there's two on the back side behind the bumper. The next step is then to go ahead and take off this crossbar. Mine are Torx wrenches. I've seen some people say that they were 10mm bolts. That's not the case for me. Mine are let's see here. Mine are these Torx ones, but I'll spin her here so I can see what size it is. It's a T40 according to the wrench there. So I'll go ahead and take this one loose, and then I'll take this bar out and be ready to go into the next step. After that bar is out, the next step is to go ahead and cut the existing exhaust, and I'm going to cut it here on this corner in front of the axle. That should make it easier to come out, and then I can get the front out and the back out. You can either use a Sawzall. In my case, I'm going to use die grinder cutting wheel. Get at it. There's lots of space in here to work, so it should be pretty easy. Throw on some safety glasses and get to work. Okay, so that's the existing muffler that was in there. You can see where I cut it off up there, and the toughest part was trying to fish this thing up and over the suspension. But I've got all of the hangers loose. There were 3. As you can see, that's what it looks like. So if you want to take the third one off before you remove the bolts, be careful, because it will fall down. Okay, so I've got it all laid in there. Everything's loose. The toughest part is that over exhaust, or over the suspension in the back. That's the toughest piece to get in. It'll require you going at it a few times before you get it in there. Once you get it situated, keep everything loose, then you'll want to put the front piece in. It's up here, and then slide the muffler on, and then get this next little muffler portion resonator piece in, but make sure you push this all the way forward, because that's the key, because once you get this piece back here situated, then you can just slide the muffler on. Now I'm ready to get things aligned and tightened up. So here it is a couple days later. I wasn't able to wrap it up before dark, but I did get it put together. It's ready to go. Sounds pretty good. It's quiet, but it has a nice deep tone to it. So I'll fire it up here and give you a few revs. Don't worry, my car is at operating temperature, so I'm not damaging the engine. Hang on. So some pieces of advice I will give you when installing this system. Spend $3 and go buy a hanger from O'Reilly's, an exhaust hanger. Little black one, it's about $3. The system uses 4 hangers that are on the base ST, but are on the base Focus. On the ST they only use 3. So the system uses the 4 hangers. You'll need one more hanger to complete the system, to complete the install. So purchase that. The other thing is, the most difficult piece of it is the over axle, which I pointed out in the video is one of the toughest parts to get in. Just know that you're going to have to move or bend the heat shield that's in there so that you can get the piece manipulated. Just keep at it. You'll keep moving the heat shield, and eventually you'll figure out how to get that piece over the axle. Once you get that all done, it's pretty straightforward as far as getting the rest of the pieces in. Tighten it down. Make sure you tighten it down very good. Start at the front, work your way to the back, and that way you'll have everything all situated and settled and put in where it's supposed to be. The tips will look good when you get them done. Let's see, what else can I tell you? It took about 2.5 hours from start to finish for me, and it wasn't too tough. One person job all the way through. I could have got done a little quicker, but I was being patient and trying not to hustle things. So just count on about 2.5 hours worth of work to get the system in and make it look good. Thanks for watching.